Right, so this is my 1993 Toyota Hilux Surf SSRG, and I'm going to show you today how to wire up this magic and the magic of the rear window also being able to open from remote control. Now, I'm not going to give you detailed instructions for some of the parts already covered. I'm going to link to the relevant videos that show you how to do that. I'm going to show you the missing pieces that aren't covered in other people's instructions. So I had to do various things to do this modification. First, I had to install a 4-channel relay, which is from J-Car, a company in Australia, and I had to wire that in to the, you can probably just about see it up there, the central locking unit. Now this is in the right side footwell, so driver's side on a Hilux Surf, or passenger side if you're on a 4Runner. And I also completed another modification. Both of these are documented by a guy called Brek in Australia, and I'm going to link into his instructions so that the electric windows will work without the ignition. As you can see, there's no key in my ignition, yet my electric windows work. To do the rear window, basically what you do is you run from channels 3 and 4, which gives me open and close on the remote. You wire 3 wires into your rear window switch, which is that bad boy there on the right. However, in a stock Toyota Hilux Surf, that does not work unless you've got the ignition on. So what I'm going to show you is how to make that work without the ignition on, because everything else in all of the other instructions I found works perfectly apart from this last piece, because I basically completed all the modifications according to Brek's instructions, which are dated from 2010. It's now the day before New Year's Eve 2017, so almost 2018. Everything in his instructions worked perfectly apart from this last bit, because in his Surf the rear window already worked without the ignition on, so somebody, obviously a previous owner, must have done a modification to it, but that's not the way Surfs are or 4Runners are from stock, so you need to modify. So I'm going to show you how to do this little modification. So to do that, I'm going to use my cool little remote to open up the rear window and get inside here. Now, as you can see, I've had to remove the rear quarter panel plastic, which is a complete fucking pain in the arse. You need to remove the rear seat belt, the top bit up there, and then once you've done that, you'll notice you normally have this black plastic tray that sits in here, and you have to remove that using, there's 2 plastic screws at the top that are a complete piece of shit and will probably break as soon as you take them off, and then it should slide straight out. It's not bolted in at the bottom. Now here you've got the dodgy photography. That metal thing there is the relay which controls the rear window. So you can just unclip it from the bottom. Like so. Now you can see here, this, let me go a bit closer, this red and white wire here, now this is permanently on. So regardless of whether the ignition is on or not, this wire there is permanently on. This blue wire, which I guess would be pin 1 if you want to say that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. This blue wire, which is, I think it's solid blue, I can't see any other colours on there. Now that one only gets its power when the ignition is on. Now you can't simply join all of blue to this, because that would mean you're crossing the ignition only power with power that's always on. So you want to make sure that you're only joining the plug end of the blue wire with this red and white wire. If you joined the other end, so as you can see here, I've got this little stub, I've cut this blue wire and this is the other end of it. If you join that to the red and white as well, then you'd find lots of other things that only come on with the ignition also come on all the time. For example, the lights on the dashboard. And if you did it that way, then you'd find loads of things that are on that you don't want to be on, and your battery will go very flat very quickly when you're not driving the car. So you only want to take this blue wire here to this white and red. Leave this white and red connected, it's very important. I've basically just cut a little piece out and then wired up. Of course I'm going to solder all of that and make it tidy. I'm just leaving it like that for the purposes of this demonstration. So yeah, that's basically it. This was the final piece that isn't documented in any of the forum posts or any of the other videos that I found, and I just thought it'd be worth creating a little video showing how to do that. So in the description for this video I'm going to put a link to all of the other instructions I found. So follow those first, and once you've followed all of those, return to this, and that will show you how to get complete remote central locking and complete rear window up and down. Thank you very much. Bye bye.